All right, Austin Reaves, since you'll probably deflect if I ask you about yourself, let me first ask you about Anthony Davis. The run that he's been on, both sides of the court, really dominant. What have you seen from him? How important has it been in this last stretch?
I mean, I don't know what the numbers look like today, but, you know, he was an animal again on both sides of the floor. And, you know, that's what we need from him right now. I mean, Bron's out, D'Lo's out. So, you know, this is his team right now. And the last, I think, 5 games or whatever, he's done nothing but be spectacular, and that's the Anthony Davis we know. So we expect him to continue to do it.
His numbers were just a lot. We can leave it there. Right before we started talking, Troy Brown walks past you. You find him for that big 3. He's really stepped his game up as well. What have you seen from him in that chemistry that you're finding together on the court?
Yeah, I mean, I told John the other night after the game that I don't think that he gets the respect that he deserves for what he does for our basketball team. I mean, he's a glue guy that can really do everything. You know, defense best players, like I said, and, you know, makes big shots just like that. So I seen the heavy shift, and there was no doubt where the ball was going. You know, I have trust in him. He has trust in himself, and, you know, it's something he's been doing for a long time. So shout out him, shout out everybody on the team. It was a big team win. I think 4 guys had 17, 3 guys, and then whatever AD had, I don't know, he had a lot. You know,
30.
Yeah, whatever. 30's whatever. But yeah, no, it's a big time performance from everybody.
So you've had to step up a little bit just of everything with the guys that you mentioned out, Austin. 5 assists in the first half, making plays for yourself. And don't give me the I'm just playing basketball. How much have you enjoyed, you know, being able to have a larger share of things and making sure you're helping your team win?
You know, you love it. You know, obviously you don't want to have, you know, 2 teammates sidelined because of injury, or 3 teammates now, Mo. But, you know, it's this part of the game. You know, you have injuries, and, you know, people got to step up, and, you know, coaches, teammates put me in a good position to be successful. Yeah, sir. Hell of a game, killer. Hell of a game. But, you know, I like I said many times, I like to enjoy basketball, play the right way, and, you know, it's stepping up has been big for us, and hopefully I can continue to do that. But at the end of the day, I hope we can just continue getting wins.
Last one for you. Just great energy in the building. Of course, Pau Gasol's retirement jersey ceremony. Just what was it like to be a part of that and kind of feel the energy and try to make sure that you delivered with a win? I
mean, he's a Lakers legend. You know, you can hear it during every timeout. I think they had him on the Jumbotron after every media timeout, whatever. So, I mean, shout out, big congrats to him, and, you know, it's well deserved, and, you know, the fans was great tonight, and, you know, like I said, it's very special that I was in the building part of the team when he got that accomplishment.
I appreciate it, Austin.
I'm in.
Darvin, with just a lot going on, a lot of energy in the building, how do you feel like you turned the tide there in the 4th and kind of eventually pulled away?
I mean, just the defense, man, forcing them to play inside the 3-point line and holding them to 1 possession. We were great on the glass. Thus, you know, AD, 22 rebounds. It was awesome. We had multiple guys with 4 or more rebounds, and you need that against a team like Memphis. I think what it ended up being 6 guys with 4 or more rebounds. So we always talk about gang rebounding, you know, not just relying on 1 or 2 people, everybody getting involved. And that's the perfect example of that. But just, you know, Memphis, you know, they're down a few guys, some really, really key, important guys, but they still are loaded, in my opinion. They still have a lot. They're very capable of winning games in spite of everything that they're going through. So we knew we had to come out with the purpose. And, again, the 3 words, energy, effort, and urgency. And, once again, they were all on display.
And just your thoughts on Davis on both ends of the court. And
Wilt?
Anthony had, yeah, Davis.
Wilt.
Oh, Wilt, gotcha.
Yeah, Wilt Davis.
It's like, is there a Wilt on the end of the roster? I didn't think. Okay, Wilt Chamberlain. Thanks, guys.
Oh, that's my nickname for him, Wilt Davis. He was definitely that tonight. You know, I think, you know, you look at the 7 turnovers, he's just trying to play the right way and be unselfish. And I just, you know, gave him a stern warning, you know. Next, you know, from the rest of the game, you catch it in the paint, you got to put that thing on the rim. It's just like a pass, as my old great coach Larry Brown used to say. You got people in rebounding position, offensive rebounding position, put it on the glass. It's just like a pass. So, but he was awesome, man. He's just, in spite of everything we're going through all season, he's been, like I said before, he's been a solid rock. And, you know, he proved it again tonight. He wants to be out there with his teammates. He wants to be out there fighting. Him, Dennis, you know, Austin, all those guys. Troy Brown, they really stepped up and played big. The entire team, you know, wholeheartedly, chipped in some way, shape, or form.
Darvin, you guys obviously started the season, 2-10, got yourselves in a bit of a hole, but you've started to climb out of that. You're now up to 9th for the first time this season. Just your thoughts on kind of this late push you guys are making up the standings.
I mean, it's what we anticipated if we ever decided to, again, be competitive, be together, and be accountable. Obviously, we going through injuries, roster changes, and now, our group is in such a great place, mentally, spiritually, physically, and you're seeing it. Things go wrong in the game. Guys are still competing, fighting, moving on to the next play. So to go from being 2-10 to, fighting and climbing all the ups and downs, the highs, the lows, I think it made us, being a Michigan guy, it's building us to be forward tough. It's just like it's nothing that can be thrown at us that we hadn't seen before. And the guys are relishing in these moments, these high-intensity games, making big plays, got big-time players young guys is trying to establish themselves as being, clutch. AD, reestablishing himself, playing pain-free, being in a good rhythm and putting the team on his back on both sides of the ball. So it's been great, and we're taking it things one day at a time. We'll have an off day tomorrow, and just told everybody, the lights off, they'll be off in the gym, the balls will be put up. If you need medical treatment, obviously you'll get that, but outside of that, just take a day and fill your cups back up because there's still more work to do.
Awesome. When did you start calling Wilt?
Just early on in the summer. That's when I'm like, I got a nickname for you. And I didn't really unveil it, but especially when he went on that tear that he had earlier on, I think it was 10 games or 9 games or something like that. That's when it really came out. And full-blown Wilt Davis. He's playing like a monster, man. It's good. It's so fun to watch him just play free, play happy, and just make plays all over the place, whether it's threes, whether it's, finding an open man, doing a little bit of everything, man. He's been tremendous.
Using me by calling you Wilt, and it took me too long to realize, obviously, Wilt Chamberlain. Nonetheless, AD, with LeBron out, you've talked about still playing the right way and everything, but your level of aggression on both ends and just kind of finding a way to push through things, where has that been mindset-wise, and what has been your focus for this last stretch of basketball?
Just trying to come out with a lot of energy. Just getting back to my old self. Being out, close to 6 weeks, it takes a little bit to get back into a rhythm. I feel like I was playing great basketball before the injury. And then, the guys, some of the coaches always telling me, like, you was out 6 weeks. I'm going to take time to get back into a rhythm, getting back to that level that I was playing at. And I just kept trusting my work, trusting the game plan and the schemes, and having a lot of confidence in my game, and just being able to lock in and make shots, make plays for others. Turnovers. They actually got mad at me because I was trying to make the right plays or be unselfish, which happened on a lot of the turnovers. But for the most part, just having the mindset coming out, just doing what I got to do to help the team win.
Dave.
Nice to see you, Dave. It's
Great to see you too. Yeah. Thanks for blowing me up for that.
That's Dan's fault. Dan told me to do that. Dan, no mask today. That's great.
You guys, when you were 2-10, you were telling us like, hey, we could run off a win streak. Even last year, when you were fighting to find momentum, you're like, hey, we could reel off 10 wins in a row. You guys are 5-2 post All-Star break against all Western Conference opponents that you're vying with for positioning in the standings, and during that stretch, LeBron goes out. Is this kind of the confidence that you've had in the group paying off? Are you starting to see, why you tell us that we're capable of things like this? Are you starting to see it come together?
Yeah, and it starts with our defense. I just saw, or somebody told me a stat that we were second since All-Star break in defensive rating. So that's where we're getting it done on the defensive end, and then just pushing the transition. And we're playing the right style of basketball. No one is being selfish. We're trying to make the right plays. Guys are taking rhythm shots, and that's all it is. Guys are very confident. And when you play basketball like that, it usually, leads to victories. So as a whole, we just got to keep doing what we're doing. Malik didn't shoot the ball well tonight. Vando didn't get as many minutes as he usually gets. But guys came in to play well, always staying ready. Rui, Austin with his big plays, Choice with his big shots. Guys staying ready, Wayne, coming in, Mo goes out. So all our guys are locked in, knowing what we're chasing, and knowing that each game matters. And we're coming out playing that way.
BT?
Anthony?
Mr. Carr.
When Troy gets the steal, gets the dunk, and he kind of stops and poses for a little bit. Dennis comes down and scores. He does the shimmy. I don't know what you do, Wilt. But does that show the kind of joy you guys are playing with as a team?
Yeah, we're having fun. This game is stressful enough. You don't want to add more stress to it. So we just go out and just have fun. We said it before, we go out every time and just have fun, play the game the right way, and have fun doing it. And that's what guys are doing. Everybody's having fun, laughing, but we also know when we have to be serious and make plays. So, it's always fun when you're winning too. So, the guys we have every right to, to be happy right now. We're getting some big wins, especially with one of the Brian out. It was a huge part of our team. So, like I said, guys are stepping up, playing well, and it's fun to see guys play well. Everybody's supportive of each other. Even if guys aren't playing or making shots, we still want to stay together, knowing what we're chasing.
AD, you guys moved up to 9th today for the first time this season. What does it mean to you when you hear that? And I guess just how gratifying is it to finally kind of be back in the top 10 in the play-in mix where you guys have been trying to get to?
That's good, but we're not satisfied. We don't want to stop there. We want to be greedy, get as many wins as possible and try to, keep moving up the ladder. We still got to take care of business and do what we're supposed to do. But it feels good to, move up another spot and continue to chasing our goals, which is to not only being in play-in, but possibly being in securing the top 6 spot.
AD, I guess your nose got busted up in the second quarter. What was sort of the process of looking at that? And Lakers told us that you didn't get any stitches. Was there an option to get stitches, but you were trying to get out on the court? I was just kind of wondering what happened back there.
I got 2 cuts on my nose, and that's what couldn't stop bleeding. Then obviously my nose was bleeding as well. We're able to put some plug, whatever this is, in there. But it was the cut on the outside that just kept bleeding. So it didn't require stitches. Just had to stop the bleeding, and it took a little process to do so.
Any further concern on that?
No.
I might want to look at that again and look at the big picture, the lineage of big men in this organization runs through its entire history. How cognizant of that are you? And with Pau getting his jersey retired tonight, did you think at all at any point about your place in that list?
Yeah, I actually told Pau that I want to hopefully one day be up there as well. I mean, that's a huge honor to be up there with the greats, man, and he deserves it. Be up there, like you say, the list of big men that came through this organization and dominated and left their mark. It's hard not to think about it. And obviously, I want to be in that category, in that group. And whenever my body tells me that I'm done playing, hopefully I'm able to come back here and have a ceremony that Pau and the rest of the big men and other former Lakers have had. So it's truly an honor for him. We got to see Mark as well. So I'm happy for him, and just grateful to be a part of the organization, who's had so many great talents come through here.
Last two will be Malika and then David Willis.
AD, going back to the defensive success that you guys have had, when you and Jared Vanderbilt are on the floor together, the team is allowing less than 100 points per 100 possessions, which is pretty dang good. What has allowed you guys to build that sort of defensive connection on the fly so quickly?
Communication. I haven't had much practice time, but, when you have constant communication between the group, it tends to work out. We've been playing extremely hard, and that kind of, cover up for a lot of mistakes. So, him being a defensive guy, myself, and then you add Dennis and AR and all these other guys that, might not seem like defensive guys, but when you got a group of defensive guys around you, it only sparks that, So it's been fun. It's been fun, holding teams. Below their average, and that's when we thrive at our best against stops and running. So we got to continue to do that.
Hey, D. What do you think of the nickname Wilt? What was your reaction when Darvin first started calling you that, and what's the challenge there?
I don't even know when that started. I think it was on my stretch before. I don't know. Obviously it's an honor, things he done in this league is unreal. To be able to, I think only coach, so I won't say to be in a category with him, but, for coach to think that, he's been around for a long time, seen a lot of, players, as a player, as a coach. So for him to think that highly of me, obviously it's an honor. But you got to continue to, keep playing this style of basketball, and then just keep winning, and let the rest take care of itself. But for him to call me that, it's funny, but then it's also, an honor.